Hi, I'm Chrissie with Form Up Pilates, and today we are doing a mat class with hand weights. Mine are 3 pounds. You can use the weight that feels right for your body. Remember, I can't see you. You know what's right for your body, so you need to pick and choose what feels safe and what you're able to do, okay? Just do what feels right, do the progressions that feels right, and let's have a great workout, okay? So we are actually going to start today in a quadruped position, and I'm going to bring my hand weights with me. I'll put them on either side of the mat, kind of towards the front of the mat. I'm going to put my hands in between for a moment. You can be on knuckles if you need to. I'm going to start with a nice kneeling cat stretch. Exhale to round. Inhale to stretch. So I'm mobilizing through my spine. My abs are in, and I'm waking up my center. 2 more here, guys. Good. Getting a little awareness of what's happening in my torso and shoulders. 1 more. Good. I'm going to find a nice quadruped, so I'm nice and flat, supported through the shoulder. I'm going to wrap my hands around my weight. So now I'm mostly on my knuckles. The bigger the weight, the less weight you have on your knuckles. My shoulders are going to stay broad. My abs are going to stay in. We're going to start with a simple little tricep pull. So I'm going to pull my elbow up and put it down. And I'm going to switch side to side. And as I do this, I'm minimizing the shift in the shoulder. So what you don't want to see is this. Okay, that's vicious. You want nice and stable, working for that core stability, shoulder stability. My feet stay anchored to the mat. My hips stay still and forward facing, which means I'm working a lot through my low abs and a lot through my spinal extensors, even as I work into the tricep here. Good, 2 more sets. My chest stays square to the floor. 1 more set. Now the next time I pull up my right arm, I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to extend and flex. Shoulders broad, abs in. And 6, 5, so I keep the elbow at a static height. 4, I add the tricep in. 3, 2, 1. I bend my elbow, I put my hand back down, and I lift up my opposite arm. I'm still keeping my chest square to the mat and my hips stable. So my elbow is elevated, I'm bending and straightening my opposite arm. And 2, and 1. And I land that hand back on the mat. I'm going to take my right leg and extend it out. So now I've got one leg out. Now if this is too much with hand weights, then please do this with just your free hand. I'm going to extend my left arm forward. I'm going to tap the mat and lift. And as I do that, I stay nice and still. And if this is enough, you keep this. Otherwise, as I lift the weight, I will also lift the leg. And 4, 3, I'm anchoring through my opposite hip and shoulder. 2, 1, I'm going to hold for 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, I bring it in, I lower down. I extend my opposite arm forward, my opposite leg out. I start with just my arm, shoulders broad, abs in. So we're working deltoids. We've got some traps. We're working the shoulder girdle, back chain of the body. If this is enough, we keep it. Otherwise, we add. 4, abs up and in. 3, good. Staying square with the hip and shoulder. 2, I hold. 1, I breathe. And I'm really focused on keeping everything square. 3, 2, 1. I bring everything back in. Good. I'm going to give myself a nice little stretch. Releasing my hips, releasing my neck and shoulders. I'm going to continue from this position to an upright kneeling position. In this position, I'm going to start with my elbows against my body, my knees hip distance apart, so they're not too wide and they're not too close. I'm not super tucked, I'm just engaged. My arms extend and I return. I'm trying to keep my shoulders over my hips. So what I'm not doing is this, right? I'm working core stability. My legs are active. My center is active as my arms work. And 2, and 1, I'm going to pull my elbows into my side and externally rotate and return. So I pretend my hands are gliding along a table. I'm wrapping into the body. My elbows stay connected to my side, and I'm not doing this, right? Ribs knit, long spine, abs in. And 2, and 1. I'm going to bring my arms out, and I'm going to make my palms face forward. I'm going to pull my elbows down, rotate my hands and lower. Pull my elbows up, rotate my hands and lift. So I'm going through a full range of motion of the shoulder. If you need to do this without hand weights, you do. If you need to just go to that goalpost position right here and not go up, that's fine as well. Shoulders broad, abs in, but we're working full rotation of the shoulder if you can. Again, notice my torso is nice and still. 2 more. And I'm really working here. Good. 1 more set. Good. I'm going to keep my elbows bent, shoulders broad, abs in. I'm going to close and open. Now, if that's enough, you're working across the pec and into the rhomboid in the back. If you can add, I'm going to bring my feet together. I'm going to sit my hips back as I close, lift my hips as I open. 4. Glute squeeze, abs up and in. 3. 2. 1 more. And I'm going to relax everything down. Woo! Give them a shake. Head, neck, shoulders, hands, whatever it is you need to do. I'm going to keep my hand weights and I'm going to flip onto my back. But I'm going to stand them on their head. So the bottom ends face down to the ceiling, up to the ceiling and down to the floor. I'm going to stand them on their heads and I'm going to put my hands on top of them. So now my hand weights are going to act as accountability. If they're wiggling, I'm not keeping my shoulders still. On my exhale, I hinge my hips up. On my inhale, I tap down and I'm keeping those weights still. Shoulders broad, abs up and in. If those weights are moving, you're moving. Forward and back means you're moving your shoulders. Side to side means you've got a hip that's not lifting as high as the other. 3 more. Shoulders broad, abs up and in. I plant my feet. 2 more. 1 more. I'm going to hold. I press down on those hand weights and I bring 1 knee to tabletop. I tap and I lift and I don't let those hand weights move. So I'm really working across both sides of the hip to stay even. And 2 and 1. I land that foot. I establish my control, opposite knee. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. I push down on those weights to use my shoulders to help me stabilize. Good. 3 more. Keeping everything still. 2 and 1. I land my foot. I lift my hips a little higher and I hinge everything down. I'm going to walk my hand down the weights, so now my hands are holding the weights. Shoulders broad, abs up and in. My elbows tap as I roll my hips to the sky. My arms lift as I roll my pelvis all the way down. Make sure you land. So we've added a little low row to our bicep. And 4. To our bridge, which does have an active bicep here. 3. Knees stay forward, abs are in, thinking of the accountability of the hand weights from before. 2. 1 more, I'm going to hold on top. Now, I'm going to lift my heels up and I'm going to reach my arms up. And if this is too much, you keep your heels down. As my heels lower, my arms reach a little bit overhead and then return. And 7. 6, I keep my knees reaching forward. 5, I keep my shoulders still. 4, this is a big challenge. 3, 2, 1 more. I lower my hands all the way down. I lift my hips up and I zip my heels together. So now I'm in a V position and I have 10 little pulses. So my arms are pressing down, my hips are pressing up, my thighs are separated, and my heels are together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I square it out and I roll down. Whoo! I'm going to put the weights to the side for a sec. You can tick-tock your knees, you can give them a hug, whatever you need. Last but not least here, I'm going to grab 1 hand weight. I'm going to pull against it if I can. So I'm going to pull out against the edges. Should feel a nice activation down the arm. I reach my hand weight up to the sky. I look at it with my eyes and I keep looking at it as I reach up and a little forward and lower down. 10, 9. So I'm using my abs. 8, I'm keeping my pelvis still. 7, 6, and I keep my arms pulling against that weight. 5, so I'm keeping my chest broad. 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Arm to the side. If you're more advanced, you can extend that leg as well. 10, 9, 8, my pelvis is still. 7, my arms still pull. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you had a leg up, land it, opposite side. 10, 9, 8, reach. 7, 6, pull into those abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I bring it back to the center, I roll down, I stretch my arms overhead. Now this is a big stretch, and I'm giving myself a little tick-tock here. If you can't handle the arms overhead stretch, don't do it, right? Just tick-tock those knees. Okay, last but not least, guys. I'm gonna put my hands on the outside of the weight, so now I'm gripping the ends, and I'm gonna pull outward. So I feel like I'm trying to tear something in half. My shoulders are broad, my abs are in. If you want, you can bring your knees to tabletop. I'm gonna exhale, chest lift up, rotate, 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 rotate. Now, if you want, add opposite leg extension into crisscross. And 8, 7, I'm still pulling against that weight, 6, 5, working abs and obliques, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, bring it in and rest. Gorgeous. I land the weight to the floor, I open my arms to the side, and I roll my hips to one side for a big stretch, keeping the shoulder open. Maybe I look away from my legs. And then I bring it back to the center and I go to the other side. Big stretch. Notice I'm trying to keep this opposite shoulder down even as I look away. I bring it back to the center, I put my hands on my knees, and I roll up. And as I roll up, I take a deep breath and I finish. And that's a nice quick hit little workout, a good amount of arms and a good amount of core support. I look forward to seeing you in my next classes on the mat.